I wish him all the best.
Quadra, I love him.
Can he do it?
Quadra?
Can he do it? Absolutely. Manny Pacquiao's
Oscar needs.
He's a legend. You know,
some nice ones. Thank you.
He's a legend. I think he can do it. Absolutely. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but I think he can do it.
As boxing experts offer their opinions on the match between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios, Oscar de la Hoya expresses his support and wishes Pacquiao well. He calls Pacquiao a legend in the sport because he is convinced that he can succeed. According to de la Hoya, Pacquiao has a genuine chance of winning even against a younger opponent like Barrios because of his heart and experience.
How do you feel about Manny Pacquiao?
No, I love Manny, and I'm glad Manny going in too. Manny is one of the dudes that I think definitely deserves to be in. Manny always has been and always will be one of my favorites because of the way he fights. I mean, a guy to come back after being knocked out in 2 of his first 3 fights, then come back and do all the things that Manny did, that story is also just as awesome as Manny Pacquiao's story. You feel me? I mean, come on. Most guys can't bounce back from a knockout period. He got knocked out early in his career twice and came back and did.
Roy Jones Jr. expresses his love for Manny Pacquiao by referring to him as one of the greatest athletes of all time. His admiration stems from Pacquiao's achievements, as well as the manner in which he continuously took on elite opponents. It is thrilling for Jones Pacquiao to return to the ring because it gives a cherished legend a chance to display glimmers of his former glory. He sees this as an opportunity for Manny to rekindle his reputation by defeating younger rivals and demonstrating that excellence is a quality that endures. Jones's remarks reinforce the notion that some icons have more to offer even when the chances seem to be against it, which is the kind of heartfelt encouragement that fans love to hear.
It's a very contentious subject, like, you know, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, you know, I guess there's 2 questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. You know, and that's why, you know, we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up. You know, and people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, you know, but he still hasn't had those.
Eddie Hearn approaches Pacquiao's comeback with a healthy dose of respect and common sense. As a promoter who has seen innumerable stars come and go, Hearn is aware of the risk associated with nostalgic comebacks. He acknowledges Pacquiao's abilities. Although he acknowledges that not many fighters in history have Pacquiao's resume, he stresses the importance of time spent away from the ring. Inactivity can weaken conditioning and slow reflexes, especially in younger, more aggressive fighters, like Barrios. Hearn acknowledges that Pacquiao may still be better than many of his rivals, but he cautions that fans should honor Manny's reputation without having unreasonable expectations, as expecting a rerun of Pacquiao's best years could cause heartache.
He's fighting for the WBC welterweight title. That's July the 19th in Vegas, ironically. What did you make of that news when you heard it?
Well, it's boxing today, innit? To be honest with you, boxing's, you know, if you can let a 58-year-old Mike Tyson box a Jake Paul, then, well, Manny Pacquiao going back at 46 doesn't look too bad, does it? But Manny is coming back, though. You know, Tyson was coming back fighting Jake Paul. Manny's coming back fighting for the world title. But, and I say this with love, you know, how has Manny got his world title shot? He's been retired 6 years. He can't. He's got that on our previous successes, hasn't he? You know, to walk straight after being retired so many years ago, straight into a world title fight. How is that allowed possible? What happened? Surely he must have been dropped out of the rankings when he retired. all of a sudden he decided to make a comeback. They put him straight in at number one contender. I think only boxing can answer that.
I think he's. Did you say fifth, Joe? He's been already placed fifth in the world ranking.
Fifth in the. How can he be placed back in the top 10?
Comeback fighter.
Yeah, when you've been retired years, and currently on your previous, he was a hell of a fighter a few years back, but we don't know what he's going to be like today. So you'd like to think he'd have a couple of warm-up fights so we can say, yeah, and then get him in. But boxing these days, I think the money's everything in it.
You fought both, obviously. In your opinion, who's better? Who's tougher?
I think Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, I think Floyd Mayweather. I mean, and that sounds rich because he absolutely was probably one of the most brutal knockouts in boxing history, I'd say. You know what I mean? When I see him getting knocked out by Pacquiao on Instagram or YouTube or anything like that, it's in the top 10 of the most destructive knockouts of all time.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit past myself back in the day. I'd had one or two. I wasn't a master of defence like Floyd Mayweather. I'd take 4 to get one.
Ricky Hatton warns of the extent to which the sport is prepared to push the age limit for well-known athletes. He believes that the Pacquiao versus Barrios fight is a part of a concerning trend in which elderly legends are permitted to compete in bouts that could be more harmful than beneficial. Hatton considers his personal experience and links it to incidents such as Mike Tyson's tardy comeback, implying that authorities are not being strict enough to protect fighters. Although he concerns whether Pacquiao should be permitted to compete at this level, he is certain that he still possesses abilities.
To Manny Pacquiao, unbelievable career that we may never have a career like that again. I want you to take with you, when it comes to Manny Pacquiao, is moments. By taking themselves out of a comfort zone, challenging themselves. And Manny Pacquiao is a dinosaur when it last of a dying breed. We're not going to see too many fighters like this ever again. And Pacquiao is going to be the type of fighter that we tell our kids about. Pacquiao has 20 wins, greater than some of your favorite fighters' best win. Manny Pacquiao has 3 Hall of Fame careers in one, winning legit titles in 8 different weight classes. Pacquiao's legacy will age better and better and better. Times go on and on and on. A fighter like Floyd Mayweather, I think his legacy will diminish a little bit. Salute to Manny Pacquiao, one of the greatest.
Ben Shalom joins the conversation with a great deal of worry. As a promoter, he is aware of the temptation that comes with having a legendary boxer like Pacquiao headline a big event, but he also feels obligated to safeguard fighters, particularly when they are past their prime. Although Pacquiao's name ensures attention, Shalom contends that the human cost of such comebacks is sometimes overlooked. He cites instances of past champions who experienced psychological and bodily harm following an excessive number of bouts.
Position in the Philippines, so we always know that Manny is a busy man. He gets after it. He also dares to be great, and this is wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this had been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years, at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion, Mario Barrios? It's interesting theater, to say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him, but there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around. Yep. People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into...
Ryan Campbell adopts a moderate stance. He acknowledges that it is obvious that Manny Pacquiao has changed as a fighter. Everyone is impacted by age, but he also thinks that exceptional warriors, no matter
their age, may generate unforgettable memories. Taking inspiration from George Foreman's amazing return, Campbell reminds us that there is a history of boxing going against the grain. He allows for surprise, but does not guarantee Pacquiao's victory.
I don't like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. it's tough to go against him in this situation because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios' ass. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might fuck around and beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
Yeah, like on some shit like that. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, I mean, why not? If he can make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like this. And that's a fight you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans are going to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is Manny Pacquiao has a diehard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You, Stanionis, you, Boobs, you, Brian Norman.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. You know what I mean? Because, again, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else. It's going to end. So you want to make some money and you want to do great things, but not so great where I get in there with a guy that'll kill me right now. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, fuck it. I'll fuck with Pacquiao. He damn near 50 years old. I'll fight him. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So these dudes different anyway. They different. If I was Barrios, I wouldn't entertain Pacquiao. I'd be on that hunt for the rest of them.
Greg Hackett provides a direct viewpoint that eliminates all romance from the conflict. For him, this fight is about commerce, not fame or legacy. He is convinced that Barrios wouldn't have a chance if this exact matchup had taken place when Pacquiao was at his best. But things have changed since then. According to Hackett, Pacquiao is now just a name that sells tickets rather than a deadly force. He believes that marketing is more important in this battle than merit.